Welcome into this week's recruiting report with Otis Kirk. Alyssa Orange, good to be with you. Otis, it's been a while. Excited to talk
Yeah.
some football recruiting with you. And the Razorbacks got two big news this weekend in forms of wide receivers. And so let's start with the commitment from Kamari Williams. He's a part of that 2025 class.
Yeah, man, this kid had 27 offers, Alyssa. I mean, he narrowed his final 7 down to Arkansas, Florida, Florida State, uh, Ole Miss, uh, Louisville, Indiana. I mean, and Pittsburgh was the other one. He had a bunch of good offers outside of those 7. But I mean, when you go to Florida and you beat Florida and Florida State for a kid and Miami, you beat them for a kid, you've done well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, the Coach Fouch is really killing it out there on the recruiting for. He's a bulldog. He works hard. He stays after them. He got the receiver from the others from South Florida recently as well. He's a bulldog. He just goes, he finds out who he wants. So it doesn't care who's offered him. He's not shying away because Florida State have offered him. He goes in there and feels like he's got as much to sell or more than the next guy. So he does it, and it pays off. You're not going to get everybody. It doesn't matter if you're recruiting against, UCA or whoever, UAPB. You're not going to get everybody. You just don't. Some kids just will not come. But when you go to Florida and out of state and get a kid that those schools have all offered and wanted, and it wasn't a case of them offering him backing off. They wanted him bad, and he narrowed it down to 7 schools. And like I said, he chose the Hogs, and he's got a lot of speed. That's one thing that Coach Fouch, Ronnie does. I won't call him Christian because of the pitcher, but
I know we're in baseball mode right now, right?
Yeah. I have to catch myself. I'm about to say Christian, Coach Fouch, but yeah, he likes speed. It's obvious. I mean, Taylor, we're going to talk about later, is a speedster. This kid's speedster. The kid from South Florida was a sprinter. The Louisiana kid, Coach Jordan Anthony. Those are all speedy guys. Because Arkansas wasn't getting good separation last year, even with the receivers, and he's trying to get speed where you can get separation, and doing a good job with that. But I've noticed one thing about his recruiting: speed is a high priority at wide receiver with him, and so we'll see how all that works out. They got to be able to catch it and do this and that. But Williams doesn't have any problems. I mean, he's a stud. I mean, he really is. He's just a good ball player. He's 4-star. And like I said, he had 27 legit offers, probably more than that. I've seen 27 reported.
Yeah.
But he's just a good ball player. And when you're coming off of a 4-8 season, you go to Florida and beat them for a kid like that. It's credibility there, because it builds your credibility, because you go in there and get a kid like that, you go in there and get a lot of good players.
Yeah, you definitely will. Well, you also love the fact, like, Sam wants to bring in guys who can recruit. That's what he looks for when he hires his coaches. And so you love to see that Ronnie Fouch is really hitting the ground running, bringing in a guy like Zachary Taylor. He's a part of this 2024 class, and you say he is currently now finally enrolled in school, which is good news.
Yeah, he'll start classes this week, Alyssa. I don't know what day they start. Maybe tomorrow. Well, probably not tomorrow. Tomorrow's a holiday, but it's this week when they start the next session of summer school. And he is enrolled. Will be here. And he was going to go to Army back after the season, and then he's just so fast. Kind of common theme when we talk about Fouch's receivers. He runs a 10.4 400 meters, full 440, just got a lot of speed. And Arkansas Ronnie kind of looked into the future with this kid. Maybe not, because he played quarterback down there. So you have to use imagination. The kid played quarterback at his high school down there at his high school, and so you have to be a little imaginative there. You have to project what he can do at receiver, and Fouch felt with his speed, size, he's pretty tall. He's not heavy, but he's real tall. He's about 6'4", and he weighs about 170 pounds. So he's not the muscled up guy, but he's a little greyhound out there at receiver. And he's just something like that. If you're able to project like that, I remember Mike Schuer, linebacker coach here,
Yeah.
so able to look at defensive ends in high school and move them to linebacker, project what they would do at linebacker, and one of the kids coming back next year, Brad Spence, he was defensive end in high school, and Michael saw what he felt like he could do at linebacker, and he proved him right. He was really good at that, and I think that's the way you can really improve your recruiting. If you got guys that not just go out here and recruit, but go out here and project. Maybe some schools are not recruiting some kid because he's not big, because he played defensive end. But you have to look and say, well, that negative side of defensive end becomes a positive at linebacker. They did with Brad Spence, and it's going to work out. I mean, he's proven this spring and last fall. The first game of the season last year, we're down there in Little Rock, and he intercepted a pass 83, 87 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
83, 87 yards, whatever. Well, 80 plus yards, and took it to the house. So he wasn't shy being his first college game, and made it mark right there. And it gave Michael and Coach Odom and Sam made them more comfortable playing the kid. He got to play quite a bit.
Yeah, no, they definitely love him.
Game like that. You step up the first game like that, you give the coaches confidence. He had confidence.
Absolutely.
But it made them think, hey, I can put this kid in there. He'll make play. He's not going to shy away.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, speaking of wide receivers and guys who have enrolled, Monte Harrison on campus, right? How cool is that story? And how excited are you to cover this guy who spent so much time in the Major League Baseball system?
Yeah, one thing I like about him, he's got a brother who plays for the Lakers, so that makes him even better.
There
Harrison,
you go.
He's the brother plays for the Lakers. So, I mean, can't go wrong there. But anyway, getting back on track. I mean, and here's the deal with him. You're getting a receiver basically free of charge. So this one, and this kid was a 4-star in high school. And people said, well, it's been 10 years since he played. He may be rusty in football. He may be rusty, but look, he's not out of shape.
But he's been active. He's been playing something baseball. Else. He hasn't just been
guys are not
sitting
around. He hasn't sat on the couch for 10 years and eating Cheetos like I do. He's been out there working out and stuff. And so, I mean, he may be a little raw. I mean, not raw, that's not the word. A little out of sync there at first, getting back into football mode, baseball mode, whatever describe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not, but that can work out in a week or two. I mean, he can get that worked out in 2 or 3 weeks, and he's got all summer, and then he's got preseason, and he's been working out up there at his high school. Limbo talking about he's been working out every day up there. And then he's got all summer to throw and catch with the quarterbacks over there. And he's got basically a month in preseason practice. So all this rustiness or whatever you want to call it, that'll be gone by the time the season starts. It doesn't. If you're an athlete, it doesn't take, and you've done something before. It's like riding a bicycle. I mean, or something. You may have been 10 years since you've ridden a bicycle, but you ride it a few times. You may tumble once or twice, but you get it back in no time, and then you're fine. It's just, this kid played football. He's a good athlete. He's been busy. Stayed busy, stayed in shape. So I don't see the issue that some are saying about.
I think it's going to be fun. And look, he said the other day when he got on campus, look, I'm not old. I'm just a little mature for my age. So it should be fun. It should be fun. That's
another thing. People talk about how old he is, and I'm sitting there. People, 28 is the prime. You're in your prime of your career. That's your.
Well, I mean, depending on what it looks like. I mean, he's a guy whose body is matured like an NFL player playing college football. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's keep going because I think we could probably talk about Monte Harrison all day long. But you've got news about Grayson Wilson, the quarterback at CAC, who is now transferred to Conway. What went into that decision?
They got rid of his coach at CAC. I've heard people calling me saying Conway recruiting. No, Grayson actually applied at several schools. He was upset that the coach got let go. And he's actually the coaching quarterbacks at Conway now, his high school coach. So I gave them an inside, but he applied at several schools, sent out applications at several schools, but it wasn't a case of Conway recruiting. He went out to find, maybe they did some, but who cares? I mean, they went by the book, how they did it. And But this was Grayson. I actually knew about this back in the spring that he was sending out. I didn't ask him about it at Elkins. I knew about it then when they were playing basketball. I went out to the Elkins state tournament, and I didn't even ask him about it. But he had not made his decision then, but he was applying at several schools. The receiver did the same thing. He went to Maumelle. So you've got, when they fire the coach or get rid of him, whatever, buy him out, it just didn't sit well with some of those players, and they left. But this wasn't a case of, Conway going to CAC and recruiting him off the campus. No way. That did not happen. This was a case of Grayson actually applying at several schools, not just Conway, but several. I don't know what is several. His dad told me he applied at several schools. Well, I don't know what is several, but obviously it's more than Conway. Yeah. And so, but that made sense considering that his high school coach that he liked, and I thought did a good job over there. I mean, I think they won 9 games last year. It's just odd that they would get rid of the guy, especially with Grayson and the receiver Vincent, Warrior Vincent coming back. They had some good players coming back. They got some athletes there. Like I said, I watched them win the state basketball tournament out there, and they got second in baseball. Yeah. So these are good athletes, Alyssa.
Well, you never know what's going into people's decision making, but it sounds like Grayson Wilson landed on his feet where he wants to be, and get to watch him in a Conway uniform this year. So
and he'll do good there, and that's a good team too. That's a better team. And one good thing for Grayson, that's a higher level. CAC is a low level or anything. I mean, DJ did pretty good coming out of there.
No offense, DJ.
So it's not like but he did move up to 7A with Conway, and I think that'll help Grayson. I think it's a new challenge for him, that challenge of sorts. And so he moved up. I think that will definitely help his career, prepare him more for Arkansas, and he will go to Conway for 1 semester, and then he will leave at midterm and be at Arkansas.
Right. So, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, he'll get a little improvement there, and better college.
Should be fun. Exactly. Should be fun. You
play Bryant. You play Fayetteville in those schools. You're playing good competition.
Good competition. It'll be good for him. Competition always makes you better. Look, I know it's baseball season right now, but don't tell you that, right? Because you got a busy weekend coming up, and I'm not talking about baseball regionals. I'm talking about the recruiting trail. Get some sleep, Otis, before all this unfolds over the weekend. But what you got coming up for us next week?
13 official visitors next weekend, and that will just be the beginning of the storm.
Yeah,
the next 4 weekends. This was kind of calm before the storm, because next 4 weekends they got 13 right now scheduled for next weekend. That number can go up or go down. It varies, but it's 13 right now. I've confirmed. There may be more, but that's what I've confirmed. But that's a big weekend. They got 17 the last weekend, but they start next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then they go the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they've got 17 that last weekend right now, Alyssa. So this is like the second biggest weekend. But in between, you may have smaller numbers, like 7 or 8 on those other weekends. But you've got Marion Robinson and some of those Parkview kids coming those other weekends. Darius Kern. I mean, you've got some big time players coming in. Grayson will be here that last weekend, and Marcus Wembley, I think it's coming. He's supposed to be, although he's committed to OU, but he's supposed to be here that weekend. So, you get them on campus, and you recruit them hard. The kids get in their ear. And I know all those kids in the state respect Grayson. And I'm not trying to make it all about Grayson, but I'm just saying they really respect him. And that's something you want in a quarterback. You got a big time safety. I don't know that everybody has to respect him. It's good if they do, but if they don't, but your quarterback is the leader of the team, you need a quarterback that's respected by the team, because you got issues if the team doesn't respect and support the quarterback. You just got problems. We've seen that at various times at Arkansas and stuff. So anyway.
Well, best of luck to you. It should be fun. It's always fun, right? Covering these kids.
Yeah, and then they got football camps coming up in June too. Football camps. Still got the baseball going on. Yeah, so it's just,
hopefully we're talking about all of it.
I won't have to be scrambling for something to write about, Alyssa. You'll be sure you will be start to get a lot of stories, and it's going to be football, baseball. Well, Dudley does baseball, but I'll probably help some if I have time with the regionals. I don't know how much time I'll have, but I know
Arkansas
this
fans
is when I like baseball.
Yeah,
This
I
one
know.
I like baseball. It's when it gets down to regionals, Super
Yeah,
Regionals, and World
right.
Series. That's when I actually like it. It's well, one thing back when it starts, it's not that I don't like baseball. When baseball starts, I've still got basketball going
Yeah,
on. Still got spring football getting ready to go on start. If
yep,
it has, it's getting ready to. So
exactly. There's
so
a
I'm
lot. You're a busy man, Otis. I'll
yeah, I
tell you
pulled a lot
what.
of directions. So that's why now, yeah, I have this football, but for the most part, it's camps and
Mhm.
recruiting visits.
Yeah.
So yeah, and go see them on Sunday, catch them Sunday as they're leaving and try to get them and
Hmm.
try to get all the interviews I can, pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I've done this
Yes.
million years, but if I could talk, a
And
million
that's.
years. But yeah, it's fun and I
Mhm.
enjoy it. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't, a lot rather be chasing down 13 recruits on official visits than be trying to call 13 recruits and get them
Right.
to
I get
call.
it.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
lot easier.
Well, we appreciate the coverage and all the hard work that you do, Otis. Thanks so much. Good to catch up with you, man. Good to hear the latest recruiting news, and we will do it again next week.
Thank you, Alyssa. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll do it again. Thank you so much.